Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show. You're listening to us here on WUAT AM 1110 Radio and watching us on Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV. And, of course, check us out on the BTC Fiber YouTube channel. As I always say, you can watch all of our episodes and all the original BTC Fiber TV shows on there. You got Ed Brown, Main Street Constance. What's the one with
Valley Views?
Yeah, Valley Views, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
we've been on there. That was fun. But let's see, I'm going blank here on one that is in Crossville. But they have some really cool songwriters out there sometimes.
The Grounder House.
Thank you.
I don't watch that one too much.
Well, I mean, obviously it depends on who's on there, but that sometimes they have some really talented people on that show.
I like the Ed Brown show more.
I like Ed Brown
more
show.
than this show that's on Channel 18.
Well, besides ours, you know.
Well,
you tend to put
seems like
ours
his-
down.
It seems like his is on television more than ours.
I think producer, he just don't check at the right times, does he? I know that's what it is. But as I was just saying before with cameras rolled, he's very stubborn, folks. Very, very stubborn. I'm even going to tell y'all what he did. And crap, I hope I ain't... Ashes to Beauty.
I like
Karis,
that. I
she
like
does
that.
a good job. I'm not. If I did leave anybody out, I definitely didn't mean to. There was one. I liked it when the Bledsoe. What's it called? That Larry Angel wanted us to come out there and film one time. What's that called, Ethan?
Yeah, the Squatchy.
Yes. They should do that again. That was pretty cool. They did like, I don't know what you call it, but a few episodes of it. It was pretty interesting.
Well,
I would like to go to that place.
every once in a while, I watch the cancer thing down in Dunlap.
Mm-hmm.
They're hee-haw.
Hee-haw, yeah.
And every once in a while you hear something. There's a lot of what goes on I don't hear when someone's up there speaking, but I can hear the music.
Right. You got your hearing aids on? When you
I got one. One does not work.
Right.
Next week I'm supposed to go back to Dayton and have the oven checked.
Well, we might have to. We're gonna have to film. We're gonna have to make it work to where we can film at the head of the Squatchy, because there's a few times that they wanted us to film there, and just the scheduling just did not work out. It was as simple as that. But we definitely wanted to do it, so maybe I need to. We'll still need to get a hold of Larry, producer. Who do you?
I'll get you.
Okay, producer, take care of that. That'd be cool to film there. It's a beautiful place, from what I've seen. I've not been to it, so I want to go to it. I've not been yet. But here on the Albert Billy Show, we're going to tell you about some birthdays right now. We have one today, Jackie Wooden. So happy birthday, Jackie. We have a few coming up this week. We got Matt Wheeler is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Matt. Roy Robertson is on Sunday. Happy birthday, Roy. And also to Patty Reel and to Debbie Nail.
I like Debbie.
Yeah, she's always really nice. I like her.
Roy's every bit of 49.
Yeah. He's being nice to you, Roy. So happy birthday to Jackie, Matt, Roy, Patty, and Debbie. Debbie, happy birthday. Hope all y'all had a great birthday, or is going to have a great birthday in the next day or two. That's what it was mainly this week. Before Pawpaw tells you about the big Rook tournament that is making its return, which I am very glad to see, by the way. Been gone for a couple years and really missed it.
I believe it'll go over big.
I do too. People have missed it. So Papa's going to tell you all about that here in a few minutes. I've got a few announcements first. We want to tell everybody, Papa, about the bargain basement. It's going to be open tomorrow. And this is always at the Methodist Church when they have this, folks. It'll be from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's sponsored by the United Methodist Women, and all proceeds goes towards missions. It says clean, usable donations are always appreciated, but please do not leave outside the doors. Contact the church. Their number is 447-2951, or any United Methodist Church member or UMW member to make arrangements to bring items in or bring when we are open the first and third Saturdays of the month. I thought that's what it was.
Let me tell you, people do leave a lot outside the church because we have a closed closet.
Mm-hmm.
People have left bag after bag after bag.
I didn't realize I never thought about them just leaving them, outside of the church like that, though. But I guess that happens quite a bit, don't it?
We don't have a rule against it, so
right. Makes it hard.
Yeah.
Makes it hard. I agree with that. But that is tomorrow, folks. Remember, it is the first and third Saturday of each month. They have clothes, linens, books, and many miscellaneous items. And next Saturday, do we have? Surely there's a breakfast tomorrow, or do we know one tomorrow?
I thought I saw one.
Well, there's one next Saturday. I'll go ahead and talk about it first. And it's one we like. Fall Creek Falls Fire Department coming in there sideways. They're hosting their country breakfast next Saturday, January 28th, weather permitting, it says, from 7 to 10 a.m. at the fire hall. And of course, they'll have biscuits and gravy, scrambled eggs, hash browns, pancakes, waffles, fruit toppings on them, bacon, sausage, country ham, fried bologna, as Papa says. Some fresh fruit to go along with that. Or you can get you a glass of orange juice, cup of coffee, glass of milk, or water to drink. Plates are $10 each. Children 10 and under can eat for free. Remember, it's for a good cause. All the donations go to the Fall Creek Falls Volunteer Fire Department. We always try to emphasize that, folks.
It is good deal.
It is. Did we find out about it one tomorrow?
The third Saturday's usually Mount Crest, but they don't hard winter months. So
okay.
Next one.
And we need to try to remember that. So the third Saturday is when it'll be open for the next few months. Okay. We'll try to remember that then. Well, that's all. That's got it for me, Papa.
Well, let me tell
We're not used to having a boat. The first of the year is when you don't have many, and they don't last long.
It doesn't take them long to get in gear, though.
It does not, no. And you've got a good one right there.
Well, this is coming up February the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not too far away. Today is the 20th, so it'll be here before you know it. But there is going to be a new thing in Pikeville. There's going to be a Rook tournament held over here at the Embers Ice Cream Shop.
It's kind of, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Papa, but it's not really new. It's just been gone and missed.
It's been gone for a while.
Definitely.
But it's part of the culture here.
It is, isn't it?
People will respond to it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Even though it costs $10 per person to and get involved, but included in that $10 to get to play Rook, you're going to have a triple elimination,
which is unheard of.
You get to play at least 3 games.
You guaranteed it.
And so 3 hours or better of entertainment for $10 is not bad. I don't think you can go to a movie for less than $3.
I can assure you,
it costs you a lot more than that to go to a movie.
You are so correct on that.
And it would.
They got food at this too.
You have a hot dog. You have a drink. You have ice cream, and you have chips.
Yep.
So food, drink, and dessert, all for $10 along with 3 games of Rook.
And the money that they collect, most of it goes towards the trophies that they award people.
They're going to give away 2 trophies for first and second place. But I'm looking forward to that. The Rook tournament, it will start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell how long it'll last.
Yeah, especially triple elimination.
Well, and
that'll be a first that I've never seen with triple elimination.
I never have either, but I'm sure a lot of that depends on how many people are participating.
True.
As to how many you weed out.
True. If too many people show up, I think I would not be surprised if they decide they want to go double elimination.
Well,
that's just a guess, but
remember it starts at 2 o'clock on February 11th. That'll be on a Saturday.
Yeah, and it's perfect to have Rook tournaments in the wintertime.
Yes.
Really, there's not much else to do, folks. Wintertime. I like to sit home and watch ball games. I'm a sports junkie, but Rook is perfect in the wintertime. It really is.
Carolyn loved to play Rook.
Mm-hmm.
She loved to play Rook.
Anytime. I like to play it anytime. But more people do play in the winter. Well, it's because you're cooped up and can't get out sometimes. It's too cold, don't it?
Yes, it does.
We've had a few cold days here lately, ain't we?
Well,
today's nice.
Today it's about 49 or 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm. And it feels warm, I guess, because it has been much cooler. So it feels so much better today than it has.
We'll get ready for a rain tomorrow.
I can tell you that I am over the rain.
And maybe a little bit of snow.
Flurries, snow flurries.
Out on the mountain.
Yeah. I wish I had $1 for every time I heard that. There might be a little bit, in higher elevations it might lay a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 inches. I've heard that so many times in my life. Haven't you?
I called Juanita here a while back, and it was still snowing good out there, and we didn't have any down
I remember you say, yeah, there wasn't none in town. That does happen.
No accumulation. We got a few.
Yeah, it snowed. It snowed.
We could say it snowed.
I don't mind powder snow. It's pretty to look at, and don't mess with you driving too much at all. But the ice is a different story.
Ice is rough stuff.
Not a fan of that whatsoever. So hopefully it won't do much of that. If any, that'd be nice. Well, Papa, oh, wait a minute. I think I'm supposed to say something for Aunt Cindy. I haven't got to check it yet. Let's see. Okay, it's something about some pit, and I actually saw these bulldogs yesterday, as a matter of fact, on my way to Dunlap. It is 2 pit bulls, and they were on 127. I saw the dog she's talking about. Well, now that they've ended up in Aunt Cindy's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's found the 2 pit bulls. I could tell they were very friendly yesterday. That made me think that they were somebody's pet.
Well,
they were too friendly. But they're both friendly, and they look younger to me when I saw them yesterday. But they are at Aunt Cindy's house, and her number is 554-3545 if you're interested, or you may be the owner. They looked young to me, and very friendly, so which makes me believe that it is somebody's pet. But they were on They were on 127 yesterday, and kind of caused a little bit of a traffic jam. I will say. I don't know why they were in the middle of the road, but apparently either Aunt Cindy picked them up or they showed up at her house. But she lives down in the Lusk area, and that's where they were. So,
right on 127.
Yeah, yep, that's where it was. They were close to her house, extremely close to her house. So I can see why they ended up there, but they've got to be a pet of somebody's, or if not, I'm sure she'd like for somebody to give them a good home. So call 554-3545 for more info on the 2 friendly pit bulls. Well, Papa, it's trivia time in Pikeville, Tennessee.
I happen to know somebody that knows some of the trivia questions.
I hope so.
I hope I know the answers.
I hope you do too.
Number 1, Super Bowl number blank that completed the Dolphins' undefeated season The first and only in NFL history. Which Super Bowl was it? Number what? Miami Dolphins? You were not.
No, but I've heard of this
You
season.
got to have heard of it.
I have. I need to think a minute 'cause it's been a while.
Of course, it's Roman numerals.
Okay. The Dolphins went undefeated, and then they
First time in NFL history.
and then
only
lost. And then didn't even win the Super Bowl. Dan Marino was so unlucky. Man, he should have won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he should have.
That's a shame he didn't get to.
Peyton Manning didn't either.
Well, he finally did. Remember, Peyton ended up with two. Well, actually, no. Remember, Peyton won with the Colts. He won one with the Colts finally. Just took a while.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But they kind of done him. He obviously had some good years with them and finally won one. But they kind of done him dirty after that. So he showed them. He went to Denver and won a Super Bowl.
He still had something in him.
He sure did. So that was good to see. I'm not sure who beat the Dolphins though, and what Super Bowl it was. It was in the '70s, wasn't it?
Well, it was Super Bowl number VII.
What's that?
7.
Okay, I was going to guess that. I truly was.
Do you know why they did not use Roman numerals for Super Bowl number 50?
Is it because there's not a 50, or I don't know? Not a clue on that one.
If they had used the letters for the Super Bowl in Roman numerals, it would have been W and L. And in baseball, a W is a win and a L is a loss.
Okay.
So they didn't want to. So they just put Super Bowl X.
Oh. Okay, makes sense.
And Super Bowl X is 10 for Super.
What Super Bowl we up to now? Is it?
Well,
this be 51.
No, it's more than that.
Okay,
It's more than
probably getting close to 60 now, maybe.
Close to it.
I'm really, you know what? Because my team had a terrible year, the Steelers. I knew they would.
Yes.
I knew it'd be rough replacing Big Ben the first year. So I don't really give a flip who wins. So I'm rooting for the Buffalo Bills because they've never won it before, like Miami.
Well,
to see them do it.
Have you been seeing this on television? They've been advertising 80 for Brady.
What is that about, though?
About Tom Brady.
I didn't get it.
And there's 4 women, older women.
Okay.
And they're ex-movie stars. Lily Tomlin is one of them. Sally Fields is one of them.
What is this then?
It's a movie. And
wow.
These women, but Tom Brady got beat Monday night.
No, he did.
So they were talking about it on television this morning, the fact that Tom Brady lost. But they were
It is usually newsworthy when he does lose, isn't it?
Yeah, but they were interviewing these women.
Dolly Parton, I saw her with them too.
No, she's not one of them.
She is too. She made a song about whatever movie this is.
They brought her in because of that song, but she's not one of the 4 women
in the movie. No, her and. That's so weird. I saw the music video this morning, and I was like, what in the world is this? I could tell it was for a movie, and you had Dolly Parton singing, and like 3 other legendary singers singing with her, and then they'd show clips of the movie. I didn't know what that was about.
I'm trying to think of those 4 women, but I do know
Jane Fonda looked like one of them.
I think Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and
Sally Field. I saw her.
And the other woman, I did not know her.
Was she tall, blonde-headed?
Well, there
was a tall blonde. I think it was Daryl Hannah. I remember her from Splash. She was the mermaid on Splash, one of Tom Hanks' first movies.
Well, anyway,
that's big time stars.
It sounds like it's going to be but what it is, those women are trying to help somebody out that needed help, and somehow Brady got involved, and of course Brady's for real,
right?
And these women are not who they are in the movie; they're just 4 women,
right?
And they must be 80.
Does he play his? They could. They don't look it, but yeah, they probably are. Dolly Parton turned 77 yesterday.
Well, Dolly's not
in
the movie, but she's not in the movie.
I know, but we were talking about her, and her birthday was yesterday, and she's in the song. She must have wrote a song for this movie.
She wrote a song. She wrote a song.
It was good from what I heard of it.
I want Dolly Parton to be on my side, whatever.
Yeah, but I'm glad you said that, though. It's so weird, like, because first I saw it this morning, right when I woke up.
It sounds like it will be a big time thing.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right. A big amount of gum in your mouth is called a
wad.
A wad.
I knew if it wasn't that, it wouldn't be.
I didn't know if you remember that or not. What do you put ice cream in if you go to buy ice cream?
Well, you can put it in a cone.
A cone is the number one thing.
Absolutely, yes.
Cone of ice cream. You could get a double header.
You can.
Double dip.
You can. You can be a rebel and get a double dip.
Man, wouldn't it be something to get a triple dip?
Boy, that would be. I'd spill that.
You wouldn't want to get it on the 4th of July.
No.
A flying mammal.
A flying mammal. Are
Little
you
bitty,
kidding
little
me?
bitty creature.
Bat.
A bat. That's a mammal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a whale is a mammal?
Mm-hmm. An enormous mammal.
Remember I told you last week that a koala bear was not a bear?
Yeah, and I did not know that.
It's a marsupial.
Yeah, I mean, never even heard of a marsupial, but I know. I always. That's so weird. They call them koala bears, and they're not even a bear.
Oh. Okay. Now let me ask you this: what is a beauty contest called? It's a beauty pageant. But we call them a pageant.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really a contest to find out who's the prettiest.
And sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's more. I mean, you got to be good looking, obviously, but some of them you got to have a little bit of talent to win.
There's an aspect of it now where they put a lot of emphasis on knowledge.
They really do.
And how you handle yourself, how you answer questions.
Oh yeah, that's key.
There's a lot more than just putting on a bathing suit and walking across stage.
Yeah, there really is.
Vice President Al Blank.
Well, that's easy. Al Gore.
Al Gore. He was vice president.
Mm-hmm.
Another word in the Brown family for pants you'd have on or shirts you'd have on. It's in the Brown family, but it's just got three letters.
Okay, hold up. Okay, pants. What we're talking about?
Pants or shirt as clothing,
mm-hmm.
And it's brown, but it's not chocolate brown. It's
light brown, beige,
or
I don't know.
Tan.
Oh, okay. Oh, tan. Well, I could have thought they could get a lot better clue for that. Laying out in the sun. What are you trying to get?
All right. You want to ask the questions?
Well, I'm just saying that sometimes the clues stump me a little bit. Dang it.
The seat finder at a wedding. What do you call him? He helps you find a seat.
Dang it. And I do know this one. This is going to make me mad.
He'll seat
they walk you down there and sit you.
He'll seat you on the bride side of the church or on the groom side. Usher. Very good, Billy.
I know, I was going to be mad. I hate it when I miss some easy ones.
Are you ready for sports?
Oh, is that it for trivia? Well, how did I do?
Well, I think
I done pretty dang good.
Well, I'm surprised you knew as many.
Some of them wasn't that easy.
Well, you had better answers. You had better clues yourself.
On that one, I thought that was pretty slick. And I just come up with that just like that. I just winged it. Well, I am ready for sports, but of course we'll have to go to a commercial break first. But when we come back after the break, yes, we will have the wide world of sports, and especially all about SEC news and Tennessee's. It's still good to be a Tennessee Vol fan. It's been a more fun year this year to be a Tennessee fan, that's for sure.
Right now.
Exactly, right now. Hopefully it stays that way. But we'll tell you all about that, and of course, good old Albertology and jokes, all that good stuff is coming up.
Some of that.
That's all coming up next right after the break, so stay tuned, folks.
Welcome to the Dunlap Mercantile, located in the heart of the beautiful Sequatchie Valley at 15664 Rankin Avenue in Dunlap, Tennessee. Stop in today for some Mayfield ice cream or a cup of community coffee, and if you're interested in renting this venue for your event, call 423-949-2552. Stay tuned to DunlapMercantile.com for concerts and events coming to the Dunlap Mercantile in 2021. God bless.
Welcome back, folks, to the Albert and Billy Show here on WAT Radio and Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV. And also check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Check out the BTC Fiber Facebook page. And there's a Facebook page for the Albert and Billy Show. You can go on there as well. I think I remembered everything. I always try to. Don't always, but I try. I want to thank our sponsors. I'll quickly name the sponsors. Thank you, big thank you to all of you before I say it.
Yes.
A big thank you to the following people: Citizens Tri-County Bank, Bilbrey Insurance, Scotty's of Pikeville, the offices of Janine Boynton, Lisa Wheeler, and Michael Walker, Farm Bureau Insurance. You'll see Massengale and his friendly staff. Nickel Antiques, they are closed until April, so just a couple of months they're closed, and Gail will be back. Morgan Brothers and the Bankwalker Brewery and the venue. And speaking of them, the venue, there's a rumor going around. All that's happened is the building that the venue part is in has been sold.
Oh.
So, but people panicked and thought that the venue was closing. That's how it's so funny how a rumor can start just like that, you know. But that's what happened. So I'll clear that up for you folks. They're not closing. The venue will be moved where the brewery's at, but they'll separate them because there is another room there where they can. So fear not that they're not closing. The venues just will be really close to the brewery now. They're going to kind of redo it, basically.
So another business is going in the building where the venue was.
I guess. I mean, the owner of that part sold it. I don't know, but I'm assuming so.
Why would you buy a building if you did not intend to use it?
Exactly. But anyway, so just thought I'd clear that up for you guys. Also, thank you to State Farm Insurance, Nick Smith and his friendly staff, Meal Down Outdoor Adventures, It's Lola's, Collier and Company Realty, Cindy Nipper with Remax, Dexter's Barbershop, The Butter Dish, Lee Station Baptist Church, Southern Pearl Forest Home Decor and Gifts, Hilltop Meats, The Daily Stop. Hey, at least the new one's it's an easy one to say.
Yes, you could say that every day. Daily Stop.
And of course, go see Adriana for all your travel needs, as she owns Seashore Getaway. And now it's time for some sports of all sorts, as Papa calls it.
Well, I don't know where I got that.
What are we sorting through today, Papa?
Well, let's go all the way back to last Saturday when Tennessee men took on Kentucky.
You would start with a depressing moment.
Well, you had the opinion that Tennessee might sweep Kentucky this year.
Boy, what a letdown.
And we should have. But for some reason, Kentucky played like they always played, and Tennessee played like Lee Station.
You got exactly right.
Tennessee only scored 56 points.
It was pathetic.
That's sad.
They looked. They didn't have no energy. They never did match the energy that Kentucky brought, and it was in Knoxville. That's crazy.
Well, we had won 14 games and just lost 2.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky was riding on a 10-6 record, and so
mediocre.
looked like perfect weather for Tennessee to come in and win another game.
Absolutely.
But they lost. Now
they let it. Yeah, they let
last
it be
Saturday they were 14-3, and Kentucky improved to 11-6.
You know, that broke a 25 home game win streak for Tennessee.
They had won 25 games at home
in a row.
And then turned around and let a
mediocre
excuse
Kentucky
for a
team.
Kentucky team to win.
I was telling Papa before film started that Kentucky wanted it more, and it showed. They out-hustled Tennessee on every play.
Well, I would say that Tennessee and Kentucky matchup, Kentucky wanted to win that game more.
They did.
Because they had something to prove.
They did, and they could tell they were
wanted
hungry.
People to know that they're better than their record.
Yeah, it was a statement game for them.
It was a statement game.
Yeah.
And they have a good coach.
They do.
They have a good coach.
They're still Kentucky. Yeah.
They're still, let me tell you something, they're still Kentucky. I don't care.
They're always dangerous no matter what, aren't they?
And Calipari is a good coach.
He is.
But not to take anything away from our coach. We've got a...
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. His team just didn't bring it. They just straight up didn't bring it that day for whatever reason.
I don't care how good a coach you are. You can't go out there and play for your team.
No, you cannot.
Okay, on Sunday, our Tennessee women took on Georgia at K-Town. We were there at home, and the game was 68-55. So Tennessee looked a lot better. That was 7 wins in a row, I think. Yeah,
they're up to an 8-game win streak now. The Lady Vols are,
and they had not lost in the SEC.
No, they picked a good time to get it together, didn't they?
They sure have. They sure have. The fellow Doug Hamlin that got had a heart attack. He's home now.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
Okay, now Tennessee dropped down to number 9 with that 14-3 record.
Well, they deserve to.
Yes, and Tennessee took on Mississippi State then.
Yeah.
And they won 70-59.
Didn't pick it up till the second half, really, though, did they?
They only had 23 points in the first half, and they wound up with 70 at the end of the game. So that shows you what they did the second half.
Yeah, it tells me they probably got a tongue lashing in the locker room by Rick Barnes.
I'd say they did, because
come out like a different team, didn't they?
That was pathetic. That was pathetic. Ziegler had 24 and Phillips had 18.
Yeah, now Ziegler couldn't throw it in the ocean against Kentucky. He couldn't even hit layups.
He didn't in the first half against Mississippi State.
Yeah, I know. The first half of that game kind of felt like deja vu, didn't it?
I thought they should bench Ziegler.
Yeah, he really struggled there.
Because he was the leader. He brings that ball up court every time, and he's a playmaker.
He does. I'd say he does hustle. He did hustle in the Kentucky game. He just could not shoot. He just couldn't buy a basket.
But and it was the second half before he found the range on the threes.
I hope he keeps it too.
Boy, it looked good. It looked good.
It did.
On the high school scene, Bledsoe County High School, we took on Grundy County on January the 10th. And our Lady Warriors bore the brunt of a loss, big time, 74-36, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the boys, they lost 46-45, which is
very close. Yeah.
And Eli Tabor led the way with 17 points, but in a losing cause. Then Tennessee women took on Florida.
Last night.
And let me tell you, 74-56. That was worth watching.
It was.
Let me tell you. I loved the way they played in that game. 74.
They all kind of were hitting. But of course, Jackson, Horston are your go-to players for sure.
They look good. But 74 points in a women's game should win a game for you every time.
No, yeah, it normally will. And that's something interesting. I'd said last week, so and it continues. They are on an 8-game win streak, 7-0 starting SEC. But what's even more impressive is all these wins in the win streak are by double digits. The announcer
They're
said that.
separating the men from the boys.
They are.
Or
They
the
are.
women from the girls.
Yeah, they are. I think they're learning how to play without Tamara Key. They had to learn how to play without her.
They've had to change their tactics.
Oh,
They've
big
had
time.
to change their ideals about what should be done and who should do it.
Absolutely, because she brought a huge presence in the paint.
Well, they depended on her.
Yeah, I mean, she's 6'6". I mean, she did everything on the basket.
But I've watched other women's teams where they've got that height under the basket.
Mm-hmm.
That's their go-to guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because
And
all you got to
Tennessee
do
used
is
be a
toss
player
the
like
ball
that.
up, and she just jumps up. She can
I
outjump everybody else.
I
So
know.
she gets the ball and turns around and puts it in.
Yes, it's a big advantage to have.
Well, that means that these men and women that are having daughters should have a tall daughter.
Exactly.
Okay, the Paul Feinbaum show was on television on Thursday, which was yesterday.
It's always entertaining.
This was the question they posed. Who is the best quarterback in history?
Ooh.
Who was the best quarterback in
Well,
history?
a question that there's obviously no fact that you can prove. It'll just be people's opinions. But who they
People's opinion.
say.
And they had plenty of opinions.
I
Some
bet.
of those quarterbacks I never heard of. But I did hear of some, and I wrote down some. Kellen Moore. And then
Okay.
someone said, any quarterback from BYU. Any quarterback from BYU.
Okay.
Tommy Frazier.
Nebraska.
I don't remember.
Maybe. Is that who you
I don't remember him.
Well, crap. Well, did it say who he played for by chance?
No, they didn't tell who. Now, Tim Tebow.
Florida.
Several people had Tim Tebow.
I'm sure, yeah.
Several people
He had a
Tim
great
Tebow.
collegiate career.
Then Peyton Manning's name came across
Of course.
one time. Troy Aikman, I remember him.
I just remember him, though, in the pros. I don't remember him in college.
With pros was that with Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Joe Burrow with that.
Oh, LSU, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And Dan Marino.
Yeah, I guess I would call him the best quarterback that never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we already
By
discussed
far.
that. Vince Young, I remember.
Oh, yeah. Played for Texas in college, won a national championship, and had
Kenny
a good
Stabler.
professional career.
Kenny Stabler.
That name sounds familiar.
Played
too.
for Alabama.
Yeah,
Left-hander.
that's right.
They called him the Snake.
Oh, okay.
They called him the Snake.
Really?
So that's all I have in sports.
That's kind of fitting, being a snake playing for Alabama. Yeah.
He was good.
Roll Tide.
He was good. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. When aren't they good?
Are you ready for our Albertology?
Yeah. Oh, when you said high school, that reminded me though. The Lady Warriors and Warriors do play tonight against York Institute.
York Institute.
Yeah. I think tip-off is at 6, and it's on the road. So Mike Smith's gonna have the call for you though. From York, you can listen to that here on WAT tonight. Tip-off at 6.
You know why there is a place called York Institute, don't you?
Alvin C. York.
Alvin C. York.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go back a long ways to get to him.
Yeah, I remember learning about him in school.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
They made a movie about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who played the role of Alvin C. York,
I didn't get to see it. I'd like to.
but he captured a bunch of Germans,
Mm-hmm.
and he was used to shooting squirrels, and so he had a good eye.
Sure did.
I had a good eye with a BB gun shooting at targets.
Yeah, you was a squirrel too, didn't he? Seems like one of your stories said that.
I never shot a squirrel, but I killed I went rabbit hunting one time, and I killed that one rabbit, and I hated it because I shot that little thing. He didn't shoot back.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I hear you.
let me post something for you and you listeners. When in the book of Genesis, when Satan took on the form of the snake to tempt Eve, Eve talked to that snake, carried on a conversation with that snake. Why?
I don't know. I don't
either. But here's Albertology.
What's that? I don't know either.
The serpent, the Bible says, was more cunning than any animal that God created.
But that's
so
why I
that
don't like snakes.
we do not know the form that the snake had, because the curse on the snake was you will crawl on your belly and eat dust the rest of your life. But before the curse, what form did the snake have?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Say good old Albertology.
But listen, after the curse, that's when the snake had to crawl.
Right.
So Eve is talking to the snake.
Yeah, obviously the snake was talking to her too.
Yeah,
then
the snake.
I guess it was a talking snake.
Anyway, Albertology. All the president's pets. I've got a book of a friend of mine gave me, and I read it. The book is entitled Wagging Tails in Heaven. That's another a question I'll pose for people. Will there be pets in heaven?
I think so.
You think so? Why?
Yeah. Well, to me, I don't know. I've just heard you hear about people that die and come back, and just a couple of them, saw their pets and they see relatives. And the ones that amaze me is the ones that see relatives that they never knew, but they can describe them to a T, and when a sketch artist draws it, it's that person.
I've read that too.
It's amazing.
But what if your pet is a snake?
Well, I don't think snakes should be in heaven. I don't think snakes should be a pet.
What about Jolene? She has a horse.
Oh, yeah, horses. Yeah, they're beautiful. God would want horses in heaven. Yeah.
I have a friend that said to me, "Why would there not be pets in heaven? Because Jesus is going to come back riding a white horse."
That's very good. Wow.
Then another argument.
Never thought of that.
Another argument. Someone said to me one time that was a proponent of pets in heaven. They said the lion will lay down with the lamb.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's why I believe they will be. I mean, why would he create them here on earth?
I'm not advocating it. I'm not, because animals in the book of Genesis are not made with a soul.
Yeah, but that doesn't, and I get that, but that doesn't mean he don't want them in heaven with him. He wanted them on earth. You know what I mean?
I just want to find out.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not in a hurry.
Right.
Not in a hurry.
Right.
But all the president's pets, this is an article about pets that have been in the White House.
Oh, okay.
From Jimmy Carter's dog, Grits.
What, Grits?
To Abraham Lincoln's goats, furry friends and feathered friends have been in the White House.
See a goat, I laugh.
As an American tradition.
Yeah.
Going back to President George Washington.
Wow.
In 1790, he moved into the president's house in Philadelphia with a collection of horses and hounds.
Wow.
And the First Lady, Martha Washington, had a parrot, and the parrot's name was Polly. Every parrot I've ever heard as a pet was named Polly.
Yeah. That's weird, ain't it?
They would say, Polly wants a cracker.
Yeah.
But anyway, the residence of the Commander-in-Chief, which is the White House, since 1800 has been a home to a menagerie of more than 400 animals.
Wow.
Over the years.
Wasn't expecting that.
That's cats and dogs, alligators, and flying squirrels.
Alligators. I don't see them as a pet either.
Nearly all United States presidents have embraced some form of pet. with only a handful, James K. Polk, Andrew Johnson, and Donald Trump, did not have an animal in the White House.
Oh, okay.
That's just 4.
Okay.
No, that's just 3.
So most had pets. Okay.
So every other president since...
I just would never expected 400. Some of them must have had multiple pets.
Well, they did. They did. Harry Truman had 2 dogs, Feller and Mike. That's all. Harry Truman was president he was president in World War II. Calvin Coolidge tended a zoo-like collection of more than 26 pets.
Okay.
He had a bobcat. He had a pair of raccoons named Reuben and Rebecca, and 2 lion cubs.
What?
Called Tax Reduction and Budget Bureau. George H.W. Bush had an English Springer Spaniel, which was named Millie, and Millie got her adventures in a book that Barbara Bush wrote about that dog.
Yeah.
All right. Bill Clinton had a quarrelsome cat and dog duo, Buddy and Socks.
I remember them.
Well, his wife Hillary wrote a book about them, Dear Socks, Dear Buddy. That was the name. Kids' letters to the first pets. And then Herbert Hoover, I remember him as president, reading about it. He hit the campaign trail with his beloved German Shepherd, King Tut. And that was a real character.
I know, yeah.
That was an English Egyptian king.
Yeah.
Who's often credited with helping Hoover, viewed by some as stiff and unapproachable, secure the win. His
was strategic.
Now, Franklin Roosevelt adored listen to this is really weird, adored his Scottish Terrier, Fala. I remember that. President Roosevelt was he was the one that led us out of the recession that came in the late 20s and early 30s, and that's one thing that helped him gain the presidency.
Well, yeah, because that was the Great Depression.
That was the Great Depression, and he led us out of that. And that's where a lot of the programs, the one closest to us is Homestead up here. And his wife came to Homestead up there, and she said that this was the plum of all his campaigns, of all of his resurrection programs that came, TVA, CCC Camp, all these things were programs started by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But his dog's name was Fala. These 2 are buried side by side at the Presidential Library.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
In Hyde Park, New York.
Wow.
He and his dog are buried side by side.
Oh, I thought you meant the 2 dogs were buried side by side.
President Roosevelt and his dog.
Just one dog, okay.
Can you believe that?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Some people do that when they get close to their pets. Dadgummit, sometimes you try not to get attached to them and you just can't help it.
All right. Did you know?
But it's rare, I'm sure.
Cheese is milk that you chew.
You know what? I didn't know that.
I watched Cheese Made one time.
You did?
I told you about it.
You saw him put the yellow in it?
I saw him. It was just white.
Yeah.
And I wondered what in the devil that was. And they said, that's cheese. I said, it's not cheese yet. They said, it will be cheese when we add the color to it.
Exactly.
They were just making milk form into cheese by spreading things through it, just stirring it.
That's amazing. Now, you know what, though? White cheese is good. I make white cheese.
Yeah.
It's cheese.
Swiss cheese is white.
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
Mozzarella?
Yeah. Can't go wrong with either one of them.
No. 98% of the adults in this country are decent, hardworking, good, honest citizens. It's the other 2% that get all the publicity, but we voted them in.
Boy, you're so right by that. Yeah. Yep. That's why we, the people, are their boss. And now, this day and time is a very good time to remember that. They work for us. They're not supposed to go up there to gain for them. And that's what's going on with a lot of them, and that needs to stop.
I fear that they get the idea that once they get up there, they're our boss.
That's why they need to go, because that's not how it was intended to be.
No, that's not how it's intended.
We are their boss, and that they should never get up there and become multi-millionaires.
But guess who votes a raise for themselves?
They do.
They do, not us.
Exactly.
Now this is food for thought.
All right.
Every year in the United States, 8,000 people die from food poisoning.
Whoa.
Last week,
Didn't know that.
I got food poisoning. I got,
What?
I
didn't even know.
I was sick, and I had a hard time. And Jolene had the same thing.
And y'all.
She didn't eat what I ate,
Oh.
but I found out.
Same place, maybe. Same place.
I don't know. I found out later that she was sick the same way I was sick. But I don't think we ate the same thing.
Maybe not, but you might have ate the same place.
Well, we might have.
I don't know. It's kind of coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah. What has 18 legs and catches flies?
The spider? I don't have any legs. I don't know.
A baseball team.
Dang it!
I got you there.
Yeah.
Did you know that the United States produced 895 million pounds of pumpkin pie in 1 year?
Whoa, man. It's a lot of pumpkin pie.
895 million pounds of pumpkin pie.
Goodness.
That's unreal.
That's a lot of pumpkin pie.
All right.
It is good, but dang.
I'd rather have pumpkin pie than sweet potato pie. They're first cousins. They're first cousins.
I don't
think
really like
Marvin
sweet potato pie. Nowhere near I don't like sweet potatoes for some reason. I don't know why.
But Marvin likes a sweet potato pie. I prefer a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I like pumpkin pie.
You know what Carolyn would say? Let's kill a pumpkin.
Yeah.
We would buy a pumpkin, and when she said kill it, she'd mean for me to clean it out on the inside and get all the guts out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
carve that thing up.
Peel it, and then she would cook the pumpkin. But of course, the simplest way to do that is go to the store and buy a can of pumpkin. But she wanted to kill a pumpkin, and she'd make pumpkin pies.
And yeah, they were good.
You know what makes a pumpkin pie taste better? Cool Whip over it.
I had no idea he was going to say that, but it does make all the difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. According to most studies, people's number one fear is public speaking.
I can see that it is a fear of a lot of people.
I never have.
Not of mine, but of a lot of people.
It never has bothered me to speak in public.
Me either.
I remember the first time that I was ever asked to speak in a church. And dumb me, I said, okay.
Yeah, I know.
And it never has bothered. It doesn't bother me. The first time you asked me to be up here, it didn't bother me a bit. But anyway, the number two fear is death.
Oh.
Do you know why?
Well, I've got a few guesses. Yeah.
Well, your guess would be as good as mine.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any. I don't have an inside track to know what
But he says, you know why?
I'm asking you.
Well, if it don't tell, then I ain't saying.
In the Bible, you got a record of Lazarus being dead for 4 days. And when he came back to life, when Jesus resurrected him from the dead, he never said one word about what he saw. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul was drug out of Lystra as dead. They drug him out on the street because they had stoned him to death.
Yes.
they thought. I don't know.
I remember
But
that.
he writes about
I
it
knew
14
that.
years later when he writes to the church at Corinth, and he says, I knew a man in Christ about 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or out of the body I cannot tell, such an one God knoweth, was caught up to the third heaven and saw things which cannot be uttered. The Apostle Paul wrote 12 books of the 27 in the New Testament, yet he never said one word about what he saw in heaven.
Why?
What is there about death that keeps people silent? Lazarus never said a word. The Apostle Paul never said a word. I'm asking you, why
Well, you're the.
is a death the second thing people are afraid of? The most feared thing
Why
is...
did they not mention it? Why would they not mention it? Especially in heaven. You're not going to be scared of that. You're going to run for it. You're going to run to it.
You would think.
Of course. So that doesn't make any sense.
Now here's pure Albertology. I have no authority for what I'm going to say.
Right, yeah.
But death is an unknown factor.
That was what I was thinking. It's the fear of the unknown.
The fear of the unknown.
That's why a lot of people are scared of the dark too.
People are scared of the dark. People have phobias.
But they are, because I feel like they're scared of the dark because of the unknown factor. You can't see everything.
This one woman went to a psychiatrist one time and said she had a phobia about what was under her bed at night. And she said, well, can you help me? He said, yes, but it'll take 13 trips at $600 a trip. She never came back. Finally, he saw her on the street and he said, hey, you never did come back. Let me treat you about that phobia you had of what was under your bed. She said, my husband took care of it. He said, well, did your husband know what to do? She said, yes, he just cut the legs off the bed.
Wow.
Listen now, here's the joke to this.
Okay.
This means if you're afraid of public speaking and death,
So I didn't give the third reason, did it?
this means, no,
Okay.
this means to the average person, if you have to go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing the eulogy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Listen to this now. We're still in Albertology. Honestly, my biggest fear about becoming a zombie is all the walking.
Man, no kidding. They do some walking now. On The Walking Dead, anyway, they do.
I never have watched that, but I knew that you did.
I'm telling you what, it's an addictive show, Papa.
These are...
I don't like zombie shows. I never did care for zombie stuff, but I was convinced to give it a chance. You know, a buddy of mine kept telling me, just give it a chance, you'll like it. And so I did one day, and man, were they right. You know, it's so different than any other thing I've ever seen about zombies, because it's more about the people, you know.
But they're
really
dead,
good.
are they not?
The people aren't. No, they're alive. And
Zombies are alive?
no, there's still people in the world on The Walking Dead. You know,
Okay.
They don't kill everybody. The zombies don't, but the ones that turn, you know, they're people that turn. You know, and it's very interesting though.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, because I just don't think that many people can be lying.
But a ghost is someone that's not dead.
I thought they were a spirit.
I mean, someone that is dead.
Yeah.
So why would you believe in someone that's dead as
Because-
having an appearance?
Well, God can do anything. It doesn't say in the Bible there's no such thing as ghosts. It actually talks about spirits.
Well, it talks about the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, it does do that.
These are amazing anagrams. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read a word to you, And I'm going to tell you how that can be changed just by rearranging the letters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The word dormitory, you know what that is? A dormitory?
Yeah, like where freshmen stay in college usually.
But you change those letters around and it's a dirty room.
Ooh, I'm sure a lot of them are dirty.
Slot machines,
Yeah.
cash lost in them.
Boy, that's the truth. Amen to that.
We used to have a Stanford drugstore, I think is the place I remember. They had slot machines, and a man that I remember him being in high school when I was in grammar school. He was just a boy, but after he got out of school, I can remember seeing him play those slot machines for hours at a time. He'd keep on winning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'd keep on winning.
Oh, that's not what he's doing.
Snooze alarms. Alas, no more Z's. 11 plus 2, 12 plus 1.
Yeah. Duh.
This is the last one and we'll get into jokes.
Well, some of these have been funny.
Yeah. In Milwaukee, even the nuns are in the beer business. This year, the School Sisters of St. Francis opened a summer beer garden to raise money for clean water projects in Peru and India.
What is a beer garden?
Among the best sellers, a pale brew called Hail Mary.
Yeah, I think we've officially started the jokes first. I think we've started the jokes, everybody. I'm pretty sure we have. Because that was funny.
All right.
There was a few in there that was funny, Pop.
Now, we were discussing ghosts a minute ago.
Yeah.
Stephen King says this: monsters are real, and ghosts are real too. Mm-hmm. They live inside us, and sometimes they win.
He would say that.
When you are actually powerful, you don't need to be petty.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a joke, but true.
Most people that I have met, that I remember, that had power, they wielded it. They used it. Mm-hmm. Study after study.
Now, is this a joke here?
That was a joke.
Wait, that last one was a joke? You're kidding me.
Quotable quotes.
The joke is that it was considered a joke.
You remember Drew Brees?
Yes, football player.
Think about winning the day. If you're worried about the mountain in the distance, you might trip over the molehill in front of you. Mm-hmm. Quotable quote. Okay,
you know what? What's so funny about this is whatever you were doing before this were actually funny. The jokes have been duds.
When a couple arrived home in East Wenatchee, Washington, they were surprised to find a strange man in their kitchen.
I would say so.
More surprising than that, the refrigerator door was open and the man was feeding their dog.
What?
Even more odd, as the stranger calmly headed toward the door, he called to the dog and the two left together. Can you imagine that? A strange man in their house feeding their dog, and he leaves and takes the dog with him, and
the dog wants to go with him?
But you don't say anything?
Well, yeah, that's very strange. Yeah. There must have been a couple of wussies.
One way to kill bed bugs is with heat. This is a joke.
Okay.
Knowing that heat kills bed bugs.
Yeah, and
a New Jersey man whose home was infested with bed bugs went after them with a space heater, a hairdryer, and a heat gun. He did get rid of the bed bugs, but he burned his house down.
I'd say so. He got rid of everything, didn't he?
He got rid of everything.
Oh, man.
The only person who listens to both sides of an argument between a husband and wife is the woman in the next apartment.
Now we're getting into some jokes.
You know, I can't remember Carol and I ever having a heated argument.
Y'all never had any heated arguments in front of me. No.
The only time that Carolyn ever considered divorcing me was at Christmas time when we'd be decorating the Christmas tree. She had ideas about how she wanted to decorate it, and I had ideas about how I wanted.
I can see that.
Guess who won out?
Right. Yeah, you know, she was talking about you being stubborn. Boy, she used to always tell me how stubborn somebody in this room is that's not named Billy. You know him?
Which is
Albert.
Which is closer, Florida or the moon?
What?
Which is closer?
Florida.
The moon. You can't see Florida from here.
No. Good point.
How do you know when the moon is broke? When it's down to its last quarter?
Sometimes I wish I could figure those out before you tell the answer, but I can't never solve them.
A penny saved is a penny that will sit around in a jar for 5 years.
Boy, isn't that the truth? It takes too long to save them darn things now.
Where there's a will,
There's a way.
there's a relative.
Boy, ain't that the truth? Yes.
People are hanging around to this to that lawyer to read that will.
You're right. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's when it gets ugly.
Groucho Marx. You don't remember Groucho Marx, but
I've heard of him, though.
He was on a television show, and he always had a cigar. But he was the Harpo Marx and Groucho Marx. They were a family, but he was a comedian. And he said, I find television very educational. The minute somebody turns it on, I go to the library and read a good book.
Sounds like you.
A smile.
You're an avid reader.
A smile is truly the best thing you can put on your face. People always say to me, why are you in such good shape? And I always answer, if I told you that you were going to be on film on a 40-foot screen with your shirt off, wouldn't you be in good shape too?
You got another good joke for it?
Oh,
what was that? Is that dumb what? Dumb something?
Let me read this. I want to use this one last. I'm a leader of a national college ministry.
Okay.
And was discussing the book of Genesis with one of my students one day. We were talking about the story of human beings created to live in a garden. Lending credence to this idea, I said that there is no sound more soothing than a bubbling brook or a stream.
Yeah.
Then I asked the students, what is the most peaceful environment you can imagine? For example, where could you most easily fall asleep? There was a short silence. Then a lady spoke up and said, in class? I had Miss Robinette as my 8th grade teacher. She went on up into high school with us when we went into high school.
Oh, yeah.
There were 3 boys in my class. Ledford Keener, he's dead. Leon Johnson, he's dead. And one more boy, I can't remember his name, but they would all lay their head down on their desk and go to sleep during history class.
Well, history can be very boring taught.
Miss Robinette would get very upset with them.
Well,
she would go back there and
say,
wake up. And they would say, oh, Miss Robinette, just your voice just puts me to sleep. And then they put their head back down.
Oh, shit.
Ledford Keener, Leon Johnson, 3 boys.
Is the other one still alive?
I think.
Hey, Miss Robinette's still alive.
You have Miss Robinette's over 100 years old.
Yeah, she's 102.
You know she knows me every time she sees me?
Yes, I absolutely do. And brags on you every time.
Well, she has so far. I sent, when I wrote that book about Carolyn, I gave her one to read. I said, Miss Robinette, I had no statistics to go by, anything I've said in that book.
No.
But I want you to read it and give me your opinion.
Okay.
So she took my book and she read it and she brought it back to me and she said, Albert, there's things that I agree with you on. You said in your book that the three things that moved us as a county economically were agriculture,
yes.
timber, and coal.
She would know.
She said you were right.
Oh wow.
And I said, well, I've got nothing to back me up. I said, I just got that out of the air. She said, but you said
lived it.
You said in your book that the average family was 5 or more.
Mm-hmm.
She said that's too low. She said the average family is much bigger than that.
Back then, for sure.
Well, I had in my Sunday school class 2 people that had 11 brothers and sisters.
Man alive.
11 brothers. Nada Myers and Buddy Mitchell.
No way.
Nada has.
I didn't know Nada had that many.
She's got 11 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And Buddy Mitchell, they lived on Main Street.
Okay.
He had 11 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, they must not believed in birth control back then.
Well, I don't know about that.
I guess they needed. Well, a lot of them, I'm sure, is to help out on the farm back in the old days.
Oh yeah,
you know.
I'm sure. Well, I guess the number one factor though was that they had no birth control.
Now, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they didn't. So, you know.
Well, I'll put it this way.
That'd be another show there for that.
I'll say Carol and I had 3 children in our marriage, and all 3 of those were mistakes. None of them were planned. I'll put it that way.
Right. But like, yeah, never mind. I ain't gonna tell them myself. Well, folks, we will see you guys next week. It was the holidays for so long that I keep wanting to talk about the holidays, but we're past the holidays now, so there'll be more events and more announcements coming up, and so we'll have plenty of that, I'm sure, probably starting next week, as a matter of fact. So, but
first thing you know, it'd be Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Then there'll be Albert's birthday party.
Yeah. Had to make a celebration about that.
I've never been 88 before.
I guess not. You know, 88's when Betty White's career just rejuvenated like crazy, you know. And she lived to be 100.
She was around for a long time after that.
She worked up until 99 filming, and I mean, but yeah, 88 is when her career took off even more than what it already was. She was already legendary, but she became an icon at that point in her career.
The only drag that I've got about 88, my daddy lived to be 88.
Yeah, but that don't mean that don't mean anything. That don't mean you won't live to be 100.
No. My pastor says that I can quit teaching Sunday school when I'm 100.
Okay, well there you go. So when you turn 100, we'll have that conversation.
I hope you're still around.
That's a good one
instead of me.
That's a good one too. Well, folks, don't forget though, program reminder, the ball game tonight.
Yeah.
Like I said, Lady Warriors and Warriors will be taking on York Institute. Or is that Jamestown?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is right out, not far from Crossville, is it?
No, it's not
far at all. So be sure to check that out. You can listen to it here on WAT. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. And, well, that is all for this edition of the Albert and Billy Show. We will see you guys next time. You guys have a great week. So long, folks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, folks. Albert and Billy here. You're watching us on Channel 18, BTC Fiber. Check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like. And check out our Facebook page. Be sure to like and share. Thanks, everybody, for watching.